Today is Sunday. How is everybody doing? I hope very well. I think I need to make sure that the microphone is working because that's like the one thing that always screws up for whatever reason. I hope everybody had a great day. Now, normally I would go walk in the park with my friend today, and I did go walk with her, but we did not go to the park. We actually went to the YMCA so we can walk indoors because it was a little bit too warm outside. So it was still pretty good though. But we did get a later start. And let's see. Trying to figure out what is happening. The computer is very slow at responding to me today. Just now, apparently. Probably because I'm streaming, although I can't verify that is true. Okay. So, I really didn't do too much today besides go for a walk. I did, however, do something last week. On Wednesday, I took a personal day and decided to adopt a cat. And so I have a new cat. The shelter, what was the Humane Society in Edwardsville? They named the cat Puff, and I'm not into that, so I tried to change it to something else, and it just didn't work, and now I'm thinking it's going to be Poppy. Like a poppy seed, but spelled with an I, because I'm freaking weird. And it's a boy cat, too, so it's almost like a poppy, like a poppy. That makes no sense. But he's a cute little guy. Really pretty cat, actually. Which he spends most of his time hiding under the bed, so yeah, I kind of regret that one. But it's only been a few days. I guess I should give him time to open up and relax and all that. Let's see. But as for doing all of the writing that I'm supposed to be doing, I haven't really done too much at all. And I think it's because I was going to, I don't know what to say about it. Let's see. I have to make sure that YouTube is doing the right thing here. Live in New York. Is this right? Yes. Okay. All right. So I was going to hire somebody to help me write. It was a sort of like a mentorship. He was basically going to help me write an outline to work on the book that I've been working on. I just keep getting stuck on it. And something that I've known about myself for a while is that I tend to procrastinate. And this was just another method of me trying to procrastinate. And I need to stop doing that. I need to put aside anything. Like every time I'm writing something and I get stuck on a particular scene or something, then I look for ways to help me through it. And to do that, I always look for like a group that I can join, a class that I can take, a community I can be part of that would help me figure out what's going on. And I'm pretty sure that's what this was. And he is very knowledgeable, and whenever I do get the book finished, I probably will talk to him and see if he can help me edit it. But I actually did buy his book. This is his book, and it is really good, and I have been working my way through it, and I will be able to write an outline. But tonight I am going to be putting aside any kind of outline, I'm going to just open up a Word document and just start typing. I'm just going to start writing, kind of like a discovery writing kind of thing, and see where that takes me, because I think I need to refresh my, I guess, it's not really refilling the well, because I haven't done enough writing to actually empty the well, if you know what I mean. So I've been procrastinating, and I'm damn good at it. So I need to stop that. So that's just what I'm going to work on tonight. Maybe during the next break, I might change my mind or something. So I don't even have, yeah, that's the screen's background. I need to find Flocus. That sounds like some kind of disease or something. There we go. Here we go. Little cafe scene going on. I'm going to make it big so y'all can't see the borders of my web page. It's not my web page, it's the Google page. So the saying of the day, if you believe, you can achieve. Well, that's lame. Let's see. Where are my other ones? The ones I made personally. Well, I may have to look for those over my little break. I don't see them. They're usually sitting right here on my desk. I'll look for it afterwards. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start writing my discovery writing. And we'll see you back after this little break. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start this, and then I will likely mute the screen and just start writing. So I'll see you in 25 minutes, all right? Good. Good on you, whatever you do. my discovery writing process is a little skewed. I wrote in Word, Microsoft Word, and then I just tried to switch over to Google to use a Google document to see if it would be less annoying, because for some reason Word, they always like to put that grammar police in there, and they have the little blue lines everywhere, and that's just annoying to me, and I couldn't figure out how to make it stop. It's probably in Google Docs too, I don't really know, but it matters not. It matters not. Okay, there we go. Switcheroo. Yeah. So, what has been happening with you guys at home? I hope that you had a good weekend. It's nearly over. Have to go back to work tomorrow, but I am working from home, so I kind of like that. I have that couch thing that's behind me. You can't really see it very much, but I've had that on Marketplace for, God, I don't even know how long now. And I keep getting people asking, is it still available? Is it still available? And then I say, yes, it is, as a matter of fact. And they never, ever, ever return my message. I'm like, why are you even sending this if you're not serious about it? And then I started thinking, well, I've done that before. So I really can't say much about it. But usually, it's like I have a messenger app on my phone, like a Facebook Messenger app, that's separate than from the actual Facebook app. And sometimes back in the olden days, it would actually put like a little circular notification thing on my screen so I could see it. And I think I made that go away somehow, or maybe they just made it go away themselves. I'm not really sure, but now I never know if I have a message from them, and I have to keep checking in. And sometimes I don't see those messages until it's like a couple days later, and of course, then they're not going to want the damn thing. So I don't know. It's it's frustrating, very frustrating trying to deal with them. So I did find my little cards that I made for myself because I'm a weirdo. And this one says, I leave room in my life for spontaneity. Isn't that pretty? I drew them myself. Bet you can't believe that. But I made a whole bunch of them. And these are from this little book that I bought off Amazon for all things. And they had this little section in here that was talking about making yourself little greeting cards, aphorisms or whatever. And so I just pretty much looked up online and got like a list of aphorisms and like positive sayings, and I made a bunch of them. So they're just little construction paper cut up into small little things, and then I drew pictures on the front because I'm a weirdo. Yep. And this one, I have no idea what that is, but it says, my heart knows its own way. Yep. To the bottom of a cup of coffee. Which I absolutely should not be drinking right now because it's much too late for that, but I guess I don't care. I am working from home tomorrow, so I can pretty much roll out of bed and hop over to the computer. Good. I'm good. But of course, the day that I don't get ready for work is going to be the day that I have to do some kind of a live, like, meeting or something where they need me on camera. Because that's just how it works in my world. And that wouldn't be good. And, let's see. I didn't even hang out with my family too much at all this week. So, oh, well, I've got like 9 seconds left. I will tell you guys the adoption situation during my next break. All right, you know the drill. I'm going to mute my screen and I'll see you back here in 25 minutes. Okay. So, sorry, I was away from my desk for a few minutes. I had to take the trash out. Tonight, well, not tonight, tomorrow morning is trash day, so they'll be coming by, and I had to take it out because, for one thing, my neighborhood has been like overrun with raccoons or something because every week they were getting into our trash cans and just destroying the bags inside there. And I decided that I was going to put a long board, which used to be a desktop. It used to be like part of the L-shaped desk I used to use. And I put that desktop part over the trash can. So I thought maybe that they wouldn't get in. But I think something got in. It wasn't the actual raccoons, but something definitely got in there because the bags were punctured. They just weren't like torn to bits like the rest of them. Maybe it's because what was in the bag wasn't enticing to them, so maybe they just didn't like get too much into it. Or maybe it wasn't the raccoons, maybe it was a rat or something. I don't know. It's getting worse by the second, isn't it? So I just had to take the trash out because I don't want to. I've been trying to postpone taking trash bags out to the trash can until it's like near trash day. So right now it's out on the curb and the board is not on top of it now. So if the raccoons got into it tonight, I have no way of stopping them because I can't leave the board on top of there because, well, I don't know. They may not pick it up or it may end up going in the trash too and I wouldn't be able to use it next week. But anyway, that was where I was. That was my excuse for being away from my computer for a few minutes. And then, of course, when I came back in, it was warm, so I had to get my fan going. A little battery-operated fan. Because this room that I'm in, it has outlets, but it doesn't have lights, and it doesn't have very cool temperatures. There's no ceiling fan, so there's no circulation in this room. So I turned the fan on. Isn't that interesting? I'm such an interesting person, aren't I? So, another thing that is happening is I told you at the very beginning, hopefully you could have heard me, and check the microphone, it's still plugged in. Yeah, so last Wednesday I took the day off work, took a personal day, and I went to the Edwardsville Humane Society and I adopted a cat. And like the cat that I used to have, it was a girl. She passed away last, I think it was August of last year. So it's coming up around a year since I've had a cat. And in my case, I live alone. So any pets that I have is just like an extra human, not human, but an extra living, breathing thing that is living with me. And for the time since my other cat passed away till, just a few days ago, it was weird being without it. And I was lonely, so I wanted to get another cat. Sad life, I know. But anyway, so I was looking through a lot of the shelters like online just to see what's out there, what kind of animals are available for adoption. And I was looking for one that looked almost exactly like the cat that I used to have. And then I started second guessing myself, wondering, do I want to have the same kind of cat that I had before? Because would I be disappointed whenever he or she didn't act like my old cat did? Or, something that's just completely different? And I decided maybe I shouldn't go for one. So I went to the Humane Society and they didn't have anything like what I was looking for, like my old cat used to look like. And so I decided that I wanted to go for ones that were there longer. And there were 3 older cats that were there longest. One was 5, one was 3, and the other one was just a year. The one that I chose was one that was pretty scared inside there because I guess they weren't acclimated with animals, with other animals, and it's a boy. He didn't like being around dogs, and there were a lot of dogs too. Yeah. So there were a lot of dogs too, and whenever a dog would bark, or when they all started barking, she would freak out. I have to get used to saying that he would freak out and not like being in there. And he was shivering whenever I walked in the door. So I was like, okay, this guy, he needs me the most. So I adopted him. And then my friend Karen, the one that I walk with every Sunday, me and her have been talking about going to look for pets to adopt, cats in particular. And and the Edwardsville location is being sponsored by the Bissell Carpet Cleaning Company, and they've donated a lot of money and like supplies and stuff like that. And so the Humane Society lowered their fees. I think it's some kind of a thing where they're trying to empty out the shelters kind of thing. And so the fee for adoption for a cat was only $25. And so I told my friend Karen about it too. And so we went there yesterday. And, you know, it was such a disappointment to me because I walked in the door and the first thing I see is a cat that looked exactly like the cat that I used to have, a gray cat that was like a Russian blue. It was beautiful. And if he would have been there just like 3 days earlier when I was there, I would have adopted him. I know I would have. And I'm happy with the cat I have now. He is a beautiful cat, but he has been spending most of his time hiding under my bed. And he's like a scaredy cat. I guess I should have known that when I walked in the door, but I thought that, since I don't have any other animals here and it's just me, how scared would he be? He'd come out after a couple of days and he'd be okay with living in my house with me. But like the very first day, this guy's got skills, let me tell you. The very first day we brought him home, I had my family with me here, so there were extra people in the house, and so it was kind of sketchy for him. And he went into the kitchen because that was the room that we were mostly in, is the kitchen living room combo room. It's the same room. But anyway, he went into there and he found an empty cabinet that he could get into. And then it's like a bottom cabinet with a little shelf on it. And he went in there and hid, but we kept looking at him. We kept going in there and opening the door. And then we just left the door open. And he's like, oh, this isn't safe. I can't stay here. And so I walked in there again and I was like, well, where did he go? And I was like, well, he's not on the shelf. There's no other place he could have gone because we didn't see him walk out. And so I started pulling open the drawer that has all of the like little Ziploc baggies and like cellophane and stuff like that. The cat's in there. He somehow squeezed his way into the one drawer that was available, that was like a very small drawer, mind you, and it was full of stuff. But he found his way into this drawer. I'm like, wow, this cat's got skills. So, yeah. Then after my family left, I let him spend the night in that little closet. I put his little bed in there that I bought him, and I thought he would lay on top of the bed, and he didn't. He like climbed his way underneath the bed and was happily sleeping there. Strange cat, right? I guess this is normal for cats, so they want to find a safe place to hide. And then, the next night he did go into my bedroom. He was a little bit friendlier, and he did sleep under my bed every night since then. So he's been a decent cat, but all he wants to do whenever he is awake is like get scratched around his ears and stuff. And he's not interested in any of the toys I bought him, and I just don't know what to do. Somebody even suggested that I like take a piece of foil, like aluminum foil, and like crumple it up and see if he'll play with that. And they've got little toys that the Humane Society put in the bag as like a little goodie bag to go. And he won't play with any of those toys. And I bought like little tassels, and I got one of those little sticks with the string with the dingly things. Nope, nope. He has nothing to do with any of those. He's like, what do you expect me to do with these? You stupid. So I'm still trying to find what he wants to do, what he will play with, and it's been a difficult ride. You'll know more about it next week, I'm sure, but I guess I should stop talking about my cat and start pretending to be writing something because the timer is just sitting there waiting. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, mute the screen, and then I will see you in 24 minutes and 56 seconds. Okay. Okay, gotta pause my music here. Okay, sorry, I was going through all of the paperwork that came with the adoption for the cat, trying to figure out what kind of cat food to get. I know that they gave me a bag of food whenever I got him, but he doesn't seem to like it too much. He likes those little gravy packets. He loves that stuff. So I'm wondering if maybe some pate wet food would be good for him. So I'm trying to figure out. He liked canned tuna at the place, so I'm guessing tuna flavor would probably be good for him. Or seafood, something or another. We'll see. So I think we have one more sprint to go, even though it's already almost 8 o'clock. And I don't really have too much else to say at the time. I've been looking for food and stuff online for myself for the next week and for the kitty. I thought about, I don't even know if I'd be able to pick it up today or tomorrow. I might have waited too late. But I could always go shopping after I get off the stream. But I don't know. I always want to check the microphone now to make sure it's actually plugged in and working properly. Because I've had so many problems with this thing. Because it's kind of like on a swivel arm. And if I pull it too close, the cord gets pretty tight because the cord doesn't reach as far as it should. And I think the reason why it went off a couple of sprints ago or a couple of streams ago is because I pulled it too loose and it became disconnected. And I just didn't know it until it was too late. But anyway, what an invigorating life I do lead. So I actually did start writing about book 1 of Drina's story. She is my protagonist, and she currently finds herself working in a PI office, which is the same place that her father used to work whenever he was around. He is no longer around, and she doesn't know what happened to him. They don't know if he is alive or dead, if he just left the family or what. And that's one of the reasons why she decided to start working at this agency, because she wanted to find out what happened to him, and she wanted to follow in his footsteps too. So there's a little bit of a reason. That's her why, basically, for working at this place. And she's been there for 6 months. And she's, so far, has only been what do you call it? A research analyst. Basically, she does the computer work, the grunt work. And I think the manager, the boss, her boss, used to be her father's best friend. And she really considered him more like an uncle because he was always around all the time she was growing up. And so they've been close. He's been close to the family all her life, basically. And he wants to teach her the ways. And I think that's pretty noble, but he also wants to make sure that she doesn't get hurt along the way and doesn't, put herself in danger. And the situation, her first time that she went out into the field, was the situation that put her in danger by accident, because it was just supposed to be like a kind of an observation thing, but the bad people were there and they figured out what was happening. They were just kind of like being surveilled, basically, trying to gather information about their little underground whatever criminal ring. And so now there's a bad guy following her around, and that's part of the story, but that's not the main plot of the story. And this is what I always struggled with too, because I know that he's a bad guy and he's after her now, trying to figure out what's going on, what she knows, what does the company itself know, right? And they know that she is I guess a beginner at it, and amateur, whatever. So now they want to come after her because she is the weakest link. That's what it's called. So that's what's happening in the first few chapters. That was her beginning. That was her ordinary world, as I hear them call it. And so that's what we're working with. And now I need to figure out next steps. I already have most of this written. I just need it to fit into the outline smoother. So I'm not questioning what I'm writing next. That's my big problem. All right. So the sprint is going on. I'm going to go ahead and mute the screen and we'll talk to you in a few minutes. Okay, that was the end of the last sprint. I don't know if you got anything done or if you just dropped in to see what was happening on this little channel. I don't have very many subscribers, so there's really never anything happening here. And all I really do is do live streams like this to write. So I used to post normal videos, but I haven't posted one in a while. I think since I moved in here, I think I may have posted a few, but then I just stopped. And it'll probably stay that way until I move out of this place. This place just doesn't leave a lot of like really nice places to do videos. Nice videos that are not dark and gloomy. I know this room doesn't seem that, but it's dark. I only have like 4 windows like that behind me. Still daylight. Barely hanging in there. Anyway, it matters not. So I hope that you were able to get something done if you've been hanging out with me all night. Otherwise, I will most likely see you next Sunday evening at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And let's see, we're done with the timer, right? In fact, I'm going to turn it off. Yeah, so I've adopted the cat, and my friend adopted the cat that used to look like my cat. If you were here earlier, you know, but otherwise it doesn't matter. But that means that she'll probably send some pictures along my way so I can still see a cat that looks like my old cat, and it can make me believe that he's still hanging in there. Well, actually, she was a she. But the cat that she adopted was a boy that looked just like her. I don't know. It's hard to describe. I guess it kind of would have been strange for me to get the same kind of cat that I had before. Especially if it was now a boy instead of a girl. The one I have now, the one I adopted, is a boy, and it's been a long time since I've had a boy cat. So it's going to be different. I just hope that he's not crazy like my brother's cat, because my brother has a cat named Osiris. It's like I guess you'd call him a tuxedo cat, but he's like really muscular, and he like goes all over the place. He's like from one room to the next, zoom, 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 zoom. He's crazy cat. And I was really hoping not to get a cat like that because I don't know that I could take it. So I chose the cat that's hiding under my bed all day. So I got what I wished for, I suppose. Anyway, I think I'm going to let you go, and we can talk more next Sunday. And I'll be doing some actual writing next Sunday, because today I was really only doing discovery writing, or just like free thought writing. What do they call it? Oh, I don't even know anymore. Let's see. I wrote it in my first little synopsis. Yeah, I don't know. So I think it'll come together. I'll get my shit together someday. I will, I promise. But until then, I'm out of here. And I'll talk to you guys next Sunday if you stop by. And thank you for coming now if you have. But I will see you another time. Have a good evening and week.